Man, this movie is full of problems.
What do you mean? It's a great movie. What's your problem with it?
Well, let me tell you. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. A classic movie. So if somehow you don't know, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is a story about a rich chocolatier named Willy Wonka who closes his factory off to the world because he suspects that there are spies in his factory. This is because all the companies start making his sweets. Oh no. Okay, so who does he have working in these factories if they're closed off to the world? Well, let's see. Yes, little men who he pays in cocoa beans and never lets outside the factory. Wait, is that legal? I don't think so, Wonka. Augustus Gloop, what could be wrong with this moral lesson? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go through his, I'll say death, but he might not have died, but let's be honest, he probably died. I mean, in the newer movie, he's shown to be alive, but this is about the older movie, and he's probably dead. So what happens is he's drinking out of the chocolate river. Yeah, as you do. Now here you're going to notice something. Wonka warns everyone before they, die. It basically turns into this.
Don't do that thing.
But I want to, though.
And then Wonka does nothing to stop it from happening. See, that's what happens. Anyway, once that happens to Augustus, he falls in the chocolate, gets sucked up the pipe. But, oh no, he's too fat to go up the tube. So I guess the lesson is, if you're too fat to go up tubes, you'll survive in Wonka's factory. But then the little scientist Charlie goes,
"Oh, don't worry guys, the pressure will build up and you'll be alright."
Alright, so then he gets turned into a chocolate bar or something not important. Oh, Violet. The same fate fell upon to her.
Oh, everyone, look at the scum.
Okay, let me eat it.
Don't do that.
But I want to.
Okay.
See, the same thing happens every time. These kids are so unbelievably brain dead. For God's sake, you saw what happened last time. Listen to them. Anyway, she gets blueberried and then taken away to the juicing room. I'm sorry, I must have read that on the script wrong. Juicing room. Not only will she be killed, but it will be painful and horribly graphic. Anyway, yeah, that's right.
Okay, this one really deserves it. What's wrong with this one?
She deserved to be burned alive in the furnace. Well, I'll admit, out of all the kids, to me, she seems the most deserved to have a punishment. But I don't think she deserves to be burned to death in a furnace. Sure, I think he said something about it not being lit on that day, but still, that's a horrible punishment for just a kid that was being a bit spoiled. Mike TV was the stupidest and smartest at the same time. He fell into the same trap as the others.
No, don't.
But I want to.
He does realize that Wonka had invented the world's first teleporter, so he has that going. But you know how Wonka's
trifle deaf in this ear. Speak a little louder next time.
So he doesn't realize that. But then stupidly, Mike TV runs up onto the platform and teleports himself. So now he's tiny. By the way, Rodal, if you have a big
TV, it could come out as bigger on the other side. Your logic makes no sense.
Oh, wait, hold on. The book came out in 1964. They probably didn't have bigger TVs back then. Okay, you're excused, but the newer movie has no excuse. Before I move on, can we just discuss the taffy puller? For God's sake, your plan is to stretch him out? That is the most painful sounding solution Wonka has come up with. Before we move on to Charlie, I have a quick problem with Grandpa Joe. Grandpa Joe, you stay in bed all day, every day, too weak to get up and work to help out the family. Understandable sounding, right? Well, no, because as soon as his grandkid shows up with a golden ticket, he's not only able to walk, but the first thing he does is a dance number. Now remember that Charlie's family is poor. Really poor. And you know what would have helped? If Grandpa Joe had gotten a job and helped out the family. But no, he's too sick and old to help out. Oh, Charlie, the sweet lovable child, the hero. But him and his idiot have to mess it all up, and they fall into the same trap. Wonka says,
Don't drink the liquid in the bottles.
And guess what they do? Correct. They do it. They're having fun, and then Grandpa goes, excuse my language.
Oh, there's a fan up there.
What do we do, Grandpa?
I don't know. A burp?
Oh, worth a shot.
And it actually works. It actually works, and they never once thought to look up at the fan. Anyway, that's Charlie. All of the things that I discussed in this video are nothing compared to this in terms of annoying me. This is about the Great Glass Elevator, a marvellous invention of Wonka's, but the one problem I have with it is that in the movie, the glass elevator is just a pointed metal elevator with a window. Now why is this a problem? Because the great big climax of the movie is whether the glass elevator is going to make it through the glass roof. And this is a concern in the book because I'm assuming the full elevator is made out of glass. But this is a pointed piece of metal versus a glass roof. It could be going at its lowest speed and it would make it through the glass. See why I don't think this movie is good now?
Yeah, I guess.
Alright, so guys, remember to like and subscribe.
Who are you talking to?
Nobody.